And it's an honor to have Dr. Jill Biden here with us. Yes. You know, when I think about what many of you in this room have sacrificed for our great country, I'm reminded why it is so important to have a president who will defend our nation and the freedoms that you all fought for. The Bidens know what it feels like to have a son fighting for their country. And President Biden has spent his life helping those who have bravely served, as well as their families, to get the support and the resources that they have earned. Joe Biden delivered the most significant expansion of benefits and services for veterans in 30 years. He understands the gravity of serving our military as commander-in-chief and has proved time and time again his commitment to protecting democracy and defending up for our troops and what they have to go through when they have to be in battle. Meanwhile, his opponent has disrespected the men and women in uniform who have made the ultimate sacrifice for this great nation, failed veterans and their families as presidents, and wants to strip back the veterans' benefits if allowed back into the White House. But we have a choice, and people here in North Carolina are prepared to do the hard work, to stand up for the men and women who fought to protect our democracy by voting for Joe Biden in November. Because the path to the White House runs through North Carolina, the most military-friendly state in the nation. And now it's my honor to introduce a North Carolinian who bravely served our country with the U.S. Army and who has dedicated his career to supporting his fellow veterans and their families. Please welcome Jason Kane. Jason.
I have something here. Good afternoon. My name is Jason Kane. I had the distinct honor of serving in the U.S. Army with the 82nd Airborne in Special Operations Command, including 5 deployments to Iraq and Afghanistan. I know firsthand the sacrifices and challenges that come with serving our country and the immense toll that it takes on our families. Dr. Jill Biden has dedicated her life to championing the needs of those who have served and our families. As First Lady, she's met and listened to veterans and military families. She's heard us. She's advocated for us. She founded the White House Initiative, joining forces to support military families, including service members, veterans, caregivers, and survivors. The Bidens are a military family. They're one of us. They lost a son because of a service-related illness. They understand the sacrifices families go through because they lived it. And has been a cornerstone in the Biden-Harris administration, White House, to advocate for veterans, for people like me. Because President Biden passed the PACT Act, the most significant expansion of benefits and services for veterans exposed to toxic material in more than 40 years. In North Carolina, 74,000 veterans and survivors have expanded health care access. 45,000 have already gotten their benefits granted. As president, Joe Biden has helped veterans and military families be more secure, setting a record of low veteran unemployment, helping service members cover the cost of child care, helping veterans obtain affordable housing and making it easier for military veterans and families to find jobs. That's because Jill and Joe Biden believe we have a sacred obligation to prepare, equip, and care for those who serve our country. I'm proud to have a president and a first lady who stand up for veterans and our families, who have delivered on their promises in the first term, and they're going to come back and get it even further in a second term. And North Carolina is going to deliver for them in November. And we're going to send them back. Join me in welcoming to North Carolina our guest of honor, the First Lady of the United States, Dr. Joe Biden.
Thank you. Thank you. Wow, North Carolina, you have shown me your heart, and I thank you so much. And thank you, Jason, from your time in uniform to your work at the state and federal level to supporting military families and veterans. Few people know this community in North Carolina as well as you do. So thank you for your support for Joe. And I'm glad to be joined by Mayor Sappho. Bill, you know how to build consensus and keep Wilmington moving forward. I appreciate your being here. So it's great to be back in North Carolina. From Camp Lejeune to Fort Liberty to Cherry Point, and through difficult days and times of joy, I've been honored to learn from you and to shine a light on your stories. This is a special community, and you all help keep it strong. 4 years ago, Joe went from being a military father to being commander-in-chief. It's a responsibility he stepped into with pride. Because as Joe reminds everyone any chance he gets, our U.S. military is the finest fighting military force in the history of the world. Of all the obligations that Joe has shouldered since he took his oath of office, he believes the only truly one sacred obligation is to prepare those we send into harm's way and to care for them and their families when they come home. Joe knows that military spouses and children may not wear the uniform, but they serve our country too. That's why he signed an executive order to make sure that military spouses can build the careers they want for themselves. And he's lowered the costs of child care and mental health services. He's also been a champion for joining forces, my White House initiative to support military and veteran families, caregivers, and survivors. As Commander-in-Chief, that's okay, I'm a grandma. He made the call to end the war in Afghanistan because the sacrifice asked of our military families was too steep for too long. He expanded reproductive health care, including access to IVF. He signed the PACT Act to give all veterans who've been exposed to toxic substances the care benefits that they deserve. As Commander-in-Chief, President Biden wakes up every morning ready to work for you. That's what this election is all about, you. For all the talk out there about this race, Joe has made it clear that he's all in. That's the decision that he's made. And just as he has always supported my career, I am all in too. I know you are too, or you wouldn't be here today. And with 4 more years, Joe will continue to fight for you, the military community that we are humbled and proud to call our own. My father served in World War II as a Navy signalman. And in 2003, our son Bo joined the Delaware Army National Guard and then served for a year in Iraq. This is personal to us. We know what it's like to wait to connect on a lagging phone call from across the world, to smile through another holiday with an empty chair at the table. Let me ask you this. Does Donald Trump know what it's like? He disparages those who sacrifice for this country. His own chief of staff said he called POWs and those who died in war losers and suckers. Yes. Said he didn't want to be seen with injured veterans because it didn't look good for him. It's disgraceful. But it's not surprising. Donald Trump wakes up every morning thinking about one person and one person only, himself. We know what Donald Trump was like as commander-in-chief. He dismissed the military community and diminished America's leadership around the world. And it could be worse this time. He says he wants to become a dictator on day one. He's called the January 6th insurrectionists great patriots. And last week, the Supreme Court ruled that there are virtually no limits on what a president can do. Our democracy cannot withstand a Trump presidency with virtually no limits. Members of our military honor their oaths to support and defend the Constitution. We cannot trust Donald Trump to do the same. The military community deserves better. You deserve a commander-in-chief who serves with integrity and wisdom and character. And that's my husband, Joe Biden. Why do you do it? You serve to protect our nation against all enemies, foreign and domestic, so that our families can sleep safely at night. You serve because you love this country and freedom and democracy that our flag represents. You serve because we are the United States of America and we lead the world. After the 2016 election, when we fell short. Remember that feeling? Remember how you woke up and you said to yourself, oh my God, what just happened? We can't let that happen again. I don't want to wake up with that feeling thinking like, oh, we should have started earlier, or we should have given more money, or we should have voted. No, we can't take anything for granted. We have to meet this moment as if our freedoms are at risk, because they are. As if the future of America's leadership in the world hangs in the balance, because it does. As if our democracy is on the line, because it is. Today we are launching Veterans and Military Families for Biden, because we need you in this election. Talk to your friends and your families about what's at stake. Sign up for phone banks and canvassing shifts, and help us make sure that everyone in this community has the ballots they need to vote, no matter where they are stationed. Together, we will win this, and together we will build an America that can always live up to the service and the sacrifice that you all make. Thank you for being here.